What if the secret to staying mentally sharp and physically energized into your 80s wasn't a supplement, a brain pill, or a complicated biohacking routine, but a simple way of living that's been hiding in plain sight? Because there's a part of the world where aging looks different. People aren't just living longer there. They're staying clearer, steadier, more resilient. Their bodies hold up. Their minds stay awake. Their mood stays lighter. And what makes this so intriguing is that it doesn't come from one miracle ingredient. It comes from a pattern, a culture, a set of daily habits that quietly protect the brain and the body for decades. Today, we're unlocking the Nordic secret to lifelong vitality and cognitive sharpness. Not as a fantasy, not as a travel documentary, but as a practical blueprint you can borrow, starting this week, no matter where you live. And I want you to keep one promise in mind while you watch. This isn't about becoming Nordic. It's about taking the highest impact principles from the Nordic way of life and translating them into your real life, with your schedule, your budget, and your body as it is right now. Because here's the counterintuitive truth. Most people think aging is a straight line downward. Less energy, worse memory, stiffer joints, more brain fog. And they accept it like gravity. But when you look closely at Nordic cultures, you see something different. You see people who build protection into the way they live. They don't wait until their health breaks. They quietly maintain it. And once you understand the pattern, it changes how you think about your future. You stop chasing hacks and start building systems. So let's begin with the paradox that makes the Nordic story so powerful. Nordic countries frequently rank high in measures tied to health and well-being, and they're known for environments where people often remain active and engaged later in life. Now, it would be easy to assume that's genetics. It's not. Genetics play a role everywhere, but they don't explain the full picture, because the Nordic advantage shows up in habits, not just in DNA. The real question is this: what do they do, day after day, that keeps their brain and body so well supported? The answer lives in 4 pillars you can actually copy. The way they fuel the body and brain. The way they move. The way they manage stress through mindset and environment. And the way they stay socially anchored with purpose. Let's start with fuel, because most people make one mistake. They try to upgrade their brain health with a single superfood, while the rest of their diet stays noisy and inflammatory. Nordic eating tends to be simpler, more seasonal, and more whole food focused. It's not perfection. It's consistency. Think of the Nordic plate as brain first and body steady. Fatty fish shows up often. Salmon, herring, mackerel. These foods are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the kind your brain uses to support communication between cells and maintain healthy structure over time. People talk about omega-3s like they're a trend, but your brain is literally built on fats. Not the processed kind, but the kind that support function. Then you have berries. Nordic regions are famous for berries, and not because they're cute. Berries concentrate antioxidants and polyphenols that help protect cells from damage. Over years, that matters. Not as a miracle. As a slow shield. You also see root vegetables and hardy greens. Foods like beets, carrots, turnips, cabbage, and leafy greens that are affordable, filling, and packed with fiber. Fiber matters for your gut, and your gut matters for your brain. Because the gut isn't just digestion. It's signaling. Inflammation control. Mood chemistry. When your gut health improves, brain fog often improves with it. And then there's one more Nordic advantage most people don't expect: fewer ultra-processed foods in traditional patterns. The less your diet is built on packaged food-like products, the less stress you place on blood sugar, inflammation, and energy stability. And stable energy is one of the hidden keys to stable cognition. Now, how do you bring this into your real life without changing your identity or cooking like a Nordic chef? You keep it simple. Add 2 Nordic-style upgrades, not 10. First, aim for fatty fish a few times a week if you can, and if you can't, choose other whole sources of protein and healthy fats. Second, add berries regularly, even frozen. Frozen berries are one of the easiest longevity foods because they're convenient and still powerful. Third, build at least one meal a day around fiber-rich whole foods, vegetables, legumes, oats, potatoes, greens. You don't need perfection. You need repetition. Because your brain doesn't need you to be extreme. It needs you to be steady. Now we move to the second pillar, and this one might be the most Nordic of all: movement that's woven into life, not squeezed into a gym session you dread. Nordic cultures often normalize daily activity. Walking. Cycling. Outdoor time. Not as a performance, but as a default. And that changes everything. Because the body responds differently to frequent movement than to occasional intense workouts. Your circulation stays more active. Your joints stay lubricated. Your muscles stay awake. Your balance stays online. Your mood stays lighter. And here's the part that matters for cognitive sharpness: movement improves blood flow to the brain. It supports sleep quality. It reduces stress hormones. And it strengthens the brain's ability to adapt, which is part of what keeps cognition resilient. But the Nordic secret isn't just movement. It's where they move. A core philosophy you hear often is friluftsliv, the open-air life. It's not about being an extreme outdoors person. It's the idea that nature is not a luxury. It's maintenance. You go outside, even when the weather isn't perfect. You walk, breathe, and let your nervous system reset. And that matters more than most people realize. Because modern life traps the brain inside artificial light, constant noise, and constant stimulation. Nature does the opposite. It lowers mental friction. It reduces stress load. It brings the mind back down from the edge. A simple way to adopt friluftsliv is to stop making outdoor time optional. Even 10 minutes. A short walk after a meal. A quiet moment on a balcony. A loop around your block. If you do that daily, your stress physiology shifts, and when stress physiology shifts, cognition often improves. Now the third pillar is mindset, and this is where the Nordic approach becomes quietly revolutionary. People think mental resilience is something you either have or don't have. Nordic cultures tend to treat it as something you build through comfort, connection, and simple rituals that make life psychologically sustainable. Many people have heard of hygge, and they reduce it to candles and cozy blankets. But the deeper idea is comfort as resilience. Creating an environment that calms the mind instead of constantly agitating it. When your baseline stress level is lower, your brain performs better. Your memory works better. Your mood is steadier. Your sleep improves. Now imagine living for years with a calmer baseline. That becomes cognitive protection. Not as a trick. As a lifestyle. So what does hygge look like in your life? It's not expensive. It's often small. Turning dinner into a calm ritual instead of rushed fuel. Creating an evening wind-down routine that signals safety. Protecting your sleep with boundaries. Making your home feel like recovery, not like another battlefield. And now we reach the fourth pillar, the one that many people underestimate until it's missing: community and purpose. Nordic cultures often emphasize social trust, community engagement, and structured belonging. This matters because isolation is not just an emotion. It's a biological stress state. When people feel disconnected, stress hormones rise, sleep gets worse, motivation drops, and over time, cognitive decline risk increases. But when people have regular connection, they laugh more. They move more. They have reasons to stay engaged. They keep learning. They keep participating. And that participation is cognitive exercise. One of the strongest protectors of brain health is continuing to learn and staying mentally active. Not in a stressful way, but in a curious way. Reading. Skills. Hobbies. Games. Conversations. Anything that keeps the brain building pathways instead of shrinking into routine. And purpose is the glue that makes these habits stick. If you have a reason to wake up and participate, your brain stays more awake. Your body stays more willing. Purpose is not a motivational quote. It's a protective force. So how do you build this if you don't live in a Nordic village? You build your own version. One social habit. One purpose habit. One learning habit. Small and consistent. Now let's turn this into your Nordic blueprint, because I don't want this to be just interesting. I want it to be usable. Here's what you do this week. Choose one Nordic food upgrade and one Nordic lifestyle upgrade. That's it. For food, pick something simple. Add berries daily for 7 days. Or add fatty fish twice this week. Or make one meal per day whole food based with fiber and protein. Keep it realistic. For lifestyle, pick one. Take a 10 to 20 minute walk after one meal each day. Or spend 10 minutes outside every morning, even if you don't feel like it. Or create a hygge-style wind-down routine at night where screens shut off and your nervous system gets a clear signal to calm down. Or reconnect with one person this week and schedule something simple, even a call. Do that for 7 days. Then notice what changes. Your sleep. Your cravings. Your mood. Your clarity. Your energy. Because what most people call aging is often just the accumulation of stress, disconnection, inactivity, and unstable rhythms. The Nordic approach flips that by building stable rhythms. Stable fuel. Stable movement. Stable calm. Stable connection. That's the secret. Not one miracle. A pattern you can live inside. Now, if you want, take this as a challenge. Pick one Nordic habit from this video and commit to it for the next 7 days. Then come back and tell me what you noticed in the comments. Did your energy improve? Did your sleep change? Did your mind feel clearer? Did your stress drop? And if you want more videos like this, simple, realistic longevity strategies that protect your brain, your strength, and your independence as you age, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Ageless Vitality Secrets. New videos are coming that will help you build the kind of health that lasts, without extremes, without gimmicks, and without getting lost in the noise.